Okay, so in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to create a filter list of words such as like a, is, and, the, or, and all these things, so that when you want to scan through a file and filter these words and only collect words that are meaningful uh, enough to be processed, then we can use this kind of program I'm going to talk about. So the idea is basically to have what is called a huge file. Of course, in this example, I'm showing only a small file, which I call as a training file, and read through this file word by word, and then manually say yes or no to decide regarding whether to put that word in a filter list or not. Okay, so if you think that the word is not it's not needed for further processing, you put it in the filter list. Otherwise, you put it in the accept list. Okay, so let me go through the program in detail. So you have a file. So you have a file reader object that reads the input file passed in the command line by the user, and then I'm going to read that file using buffered reader line by line, and I have a scanner to ask input from the user whether to accept a word or not, which we'll see later as we proceed. And then I declare two vectors. One is called the filter list. So that's a list of words that I don't want, or I want to be filtered. Then a list of words I accept. So this vector, the second vector, is useful if you already say I want this particular word to be not filtered, which means I put it in the accept list. Then if I see the word again in the training file, I need to again say I want to accept this word, or I do not want this to be filtered. So basically then while doing this manual kind of filtering, you kind of encounter a word only once. Okay, so then I read the file line by line using the read line method, and then this is now a line, which is a string. Then I kind of tokenize that string using the delimiters, like the blank space and then comma, whatever the delimiters you can think about, and then get the tokens using the tokenizers. So we can get each word as a token. Then also I kind of convert all the words to a lowercase just to be consistent, so that we don't need to worry about distinguishing between OUR and OUR. So you see, between words due to the case. So just to be consistent, we can convert all the words to lowercase, or you can even convert everything to uppercase if you want. I just use lowercase. So now I check whether the word is in the filter list. So if the word is already in the filter list, I don't need to process it again and say I want to put it in the filter list. It's already there, so I just say continue. So I process the next token in that line. Same thing, if the word is in the accept list, I don't need to again ask the user whether he wants the word to be accepted or put in the filter list. I just say continue. So only if the word is neither in the filter list nor in the accept list, then I have to ask the user whether he wants it to be accepted or not. So I print the word and ask the user Y or N. So the user, if he wants the word to be put in the filter list, can enter N, or at least the first character has to be either a capital N or a small lowercase n. So I get that input using scanner. So that's the purpose of declaring scanner earlier. So when I say scanner.next, it's basically going to look for a string, and I capture that string using word input, and I check whether word input starts with N or starts with uppercase or lowercase n. If that's the case, I say filter list dot add word. So now this is a place where you add the word to the filter list, because the user does not want this word further, so he does not accept this word, so it means it has been the filter list. Else I put the word in the accept list. So if the user types anything other than an N, it could be a Y, but the way it is programmed here, if capital N or lowercase n, else anything. So you don't need to press Y, you could just press A or whatever you want. That word is now put in the accept list. Okay, so this way, if you encounter the same word again, it will be either in the filter list or accept list, and you don't need to go through this manual querying process. So after going through all these things, I just print the filter list just to see that see what are the words that I have added to the filter list. But the key thing is, I want to write this filter list, which is an object, which is a vector basically, to a file, so that I can read this file into another program, which I call as like use filter list.java. So basically you create a vector of filter list that you can store to a file in your system, and then input that file to any of your programs. So which means you don't have to do this for every time you process a text file. You have this master filter list that can be used, that can be input to any program you want to process a file. And if the words that you encounter are in the filter list, then you just don't process those words. That's the idea. So the way you write it to a file, write an object to a file, is using the file output stream. Is just to create this file, file pointer, file output stream. But the key thing is object output stream. So this is the convention or syntax. So you say object output stream, some name of the object equals new object output stream, and pass the file output stream as the argument, and then say OOS, so the object output stream object dot write object, and this is a method in the object output stream class, and then pass the filter list, which is the object, which is a vector basically that you want to write. It could be any object, it could be a tree map, it could be anything you want that you can write to a file, and then you just say OOS.flush and then OOS.close. That basically closes the streams, object output stream. So let me show the execution of this program. Okay. Right, so it takes just one argument, which is the training file name. So let me run this. Training file one.txt. You see now the first word encountered is an A. It basically converts everything to a lowercase. Now we press N because we don't want this word and we want to put it in the filter list. Mobile is an acceptable word, so I just press Y, or I can press anything you want other than N. Add, I don't want it, so press N. Hawk, no. Network, yes, so I can press some Q, whatever I want other than N. Manet, yes, I want it, and then is, I don't want it, so I press N. Dynamic, yes, I want it. Distributed, yes, I want it. System, yes. Off, no. Wireless, yes. Nodes, yes. That, no. Move, yes. Arbitrarily, yes. Width, no. Time, yes. One, number, no. The, no. operate, yes, in I don't want it, limited, yes, transmission, yes, range, yes, and no, or no, battery, yes, charged, yes, to no, can no, communicate, yes, directly, yes, only no, if no, they no, within no, each no, other probably no, hence no, communication, yes, between no, any no, typically probably yes, through no, one no, or no, more, intermediate, multi probably yes, hop, yes, okay, several, yes, protocols, yes, have no, been no, proposed, yes, for no. See, no word is appearing more than once, right? Because once you decide, it goes to accept list or filter list. Even if you encounter the word again, it's not going to ask you to say yes or no. So multicast, you can say no, no. So that's why you have to properly decide whether to put a word in the accept list or the filter list. Of course, when you write to the file, you're going to write only the accept, the filter list. Okay. Focus is yes, on, no. Strictly, okay, our, no, connector, no. Sorry, yes, dominating, yes, this is yes, this is yes, 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 wide, yes, broadcast, yes, subset, yes, such, no, every, no, node, yes, either, no, neighbor, yes, I, no, e, no, has, no, link, yes. Okay, so this is my filter list. So now let me go over the useFilter.java program, where basically I now read that filter list. So if you type dir, you can see that the filter list file, that's the file name I gave in my create filterlist.java program. So this filter list file is the name of the file. It's basically an object now returned to a file, and it's saved like this. Okay, so of course if you try to print it, you cannot see anything in it. Hope it doesn't crash my system. You see, it just prints out like this, so you cannot read anything out of it. So you have to read it in a program as the same way you wrote it to a file. So, but of course now we have to use object input stream. So file input stream FIS, or any name you want to give, and then pass the name of the file you have stored as you stored the object. And then object input stream is the class you have to use. OIS is the name of the object. You can use anything you want. Equals new object input stream FIS. Now this is the key thing, because you wrote it as a vector, you saved it as a vector, so you have to read it as a vector. So OS.read object, you read it as a vector, and this is your filter list. You can name it anything you want. Again, in this program I just use the same name, vector filter list. So just to test whether the filter list has the words I want to filter, you can print it out. And again, now you want to read the file that you want to process. So that's the test file that you want to process. Again, I read the file line by line, and I now have a word list. So basically I read every line, and then I use a string tokenizer to read every word of the lines, and I check. Of course, since I convert transform every word in the create file filter program to a lowercase. In this, again, I just convert everything to lowercase, and then check if that word is in the filter list. If the word is not in the filter list, so filter list contains word, will return true if the word is in the filter list, but I use not. So not of this, so which means if the word is not in the filter list, okay, then so if the word is not in the filter list, then it will return what? False. And not of false is true. And then also I want the word length to be at more than 2 characters. So this way we can also filter out those words which are not yet in the filter list, okay, like 2 characters or 1 character words which we are not interested at, so we can filter those words. So only if the word is not in the filter list and the length of the word is greater than 2, then I can add the word to the word list. Then I go through this for every line in the file, and then I can eventually print out the word list. Okay, so let me compile this program. So that's the filterlist.java. Then so it takes 2 arguments. The first argument is the object file, which I had named as filter list file, and then the second argument is your text file that you want to process, which I just said test file.text. And the first thing that prints is the vector of filtered words, and then this is now the vector of words that got into the word list. Of course, you can see there are still some words that need to be filtered out. And of course the reason why they are not yet filtered is because those are not in the filter list. So that's why your filter list has to be as extensive as possible, so that you can really weed out or remove the words that shouldn't be in the word list. Okay, right, so I stop here.